So there's recent reports of burning, looting, all kinds of ridiculous events going on in Paris, France. And for anyone who thought that the recent riots were the end of it, obviously not. Obviously things are continuing to devolve and disintegrate there in Paris, which is a shame, because not only is Paris a great city, but it portends always something for not only other countries in Europe, but for the U.S. too. You know, we tend to think that because we're in America that we're immune to a lot of the things afflicting other countries, but I guess that just depends on how short the memory is of the public, because all we need to do is look back 3 years and we can have a pretty extensive track record of riots. So that's the question on everybody's mind, is are we going to get riots now in America? I mean, probably not right now, but could we be headed in that direction? There's a lot of people who pay close attention who thought that there would already be riots right now, and there's a lot of people who think that things are going to happen in the fall because there's commercial real estate instabilities, despite what they may have everyone thinking as far as the parabolic up arrow in the stock market. There are instabilities, structural instabilities, due to the debtors in these contracts having to contend with these interest rates that are beyond what they had anticipated, and things aren't working out in the commercial real estate space. So you might say, well, what does that have to do with riots? Well, it's not direct, but everything, you got to look at I mean, it's not direct, but there are indirect connections, and everything is connected. So that happens, and then you get layoffs, and then people are out of work. And there's a great quote from Gerald Celente, and he says, when people lose everything, they lose it. Yeah, pretty much. So if you have commercial real estate starting to go bust on a larger scale, you have people out of work, you have deteriorating economic conditions combined with rising prices, it's not everyone, but you're going to have larger portions of people who are losing a lot of what they had worked for, because they didn't see what was coming. And well, I mean, how were they to see? I mean, they were going to work and they thought that that was something that was guaranteed, and then all of a sudden that changed. So we got to really look at this. I've been talking about this on and off for a while, but we have to consider the possibility of more social unrest, which is such a lovely term for something so bad, right? I mean, destruction of life, property, liberty is really what it is, but oh, it's social unrest. It's not that, but no, it really is bad when it does happen. And so I guess the question is, how do you be prepared for that? And again, it's the same thing I've said a few times, but I think all of these things bear repeating. You definitely want to make sure that when you go to the grocery store, you just get a little bit of extra. Look for the stuff that's on sale, the grains, the non-perishables. Just get in the habit of it, you know. Say you're spending $40 for your normal grocery bill for the stuff that's going to go in your fridge or that you know you're going to eat within the next week. Spend 45 or 50 if you got 10 bucks extra, and put that extra $5 or $10 worth of non-perishables away. Just put it away. And water, important as well. Filtration, I mean, I know a lot of people try to go, you know, they scare people, and sometimes, I mean, it is warranted. If there's going to be riots, well, yeah, you would want to have water filtration. But I'm saying they do this thing about water filtration so they can sell water filtration. I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to get people to be in a position where they're in a stronger position if stuff starts to go south in the population dense areas in the cities, so that they don't have to be putting themselves in a bad position trying to run to Vaughn's or Ralph's while it's getting looted, or while people are starting to think about looting it. You don't even want to be in that situation. You want to make sure you have everything you know that you need, and you can stay wherever you want to stay, and you don't have to be running somewhere else because you didn't get enough of it. So water filtration, yeah, I mean, you should be filtering. If you're using tap water, it should be filtered anyway. But if you filter it, containers, bottles, whatever, buying, you can buy 24 cases of bottles, just having water, because we sometimes forget how fragile all these municipal systems are, whether it's the water, whether it's the power, and not to mention the resupply of fuel and staples, grocery products. So we need to look at what's going on in Europe. We need to be prepared for what could happen here in the U.S. Not saying it's gonna happen, but definitely keep an eye out as we get, through the summer and into the fall, because it could get interesting. And again, it's better to be prepared than scared. Don't be scared, be prepared.